Hey guys, this is Julifer 9211 coming at you with another video. This video is specifically for a deer, I believe. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. We have some background, meaning I met him some time ago. He purchased some cards. Dark Magician, unfortunately, is very expensive now, and playing a good enough deck to play either with your friends or even in a local tournament, even beating rogue and low level meta, believe it or not, is still expensive. You're looking at anywhere from $100 to $200 for the deck by itself, all of it English. I've incorporated some decks to make it to cut the price down by like $300 so people can play it that want to play, because I don't know how there could be a lot of people in the world and you never know how many people want to play it. So for a deer, I saw your deck list. I'm gonna give you some advice on what to do when you're making your deck, so eventually your deck will be complete and you'll be competing and you'll be winning a lot. For now, I wanted to touch on a specific subject. Like I said, this video is for a deer specifically. You know who you are. So the first thing you want to do is separate the cards, the monster cards. Why do I say that? Because you want to know what you have available and you set them into sections. So I can show you an example. For instance, we have Dark Magician with Dark Magician Girl. For a budget deck, it is absolutely normal to play 3 copies. Why do I say this? You're not going to be competing at a top tier level. So you don't need to cut either the Dark Magician or one of the Dark Magician Girls. You're fine at 3 Dark Magician. After that, you want to have the main cards, which are 3 rods. And I know that you have those. So basically what's going on is this: when you play with your friends or you play in a local tournament, you're susceptible, or you are, the correct word I want to use, you're going to run into certain issues like hand traps or spells and traps. So whether you like it or not, you're going to have to learn to play some cards before it, like some drawing cards or any trap cards that you set, or any monster effects like special summoning, and you want to link first. Things you want to do at the very end. If you know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, it is a bit complicated if you don't comprehend it. I would suggest that you can download Yu-Gi-Oh games for free so that you can understand the basics. But you have a draw phase, main phase 1. You have a battle phase, then you end the battle phase, you have a main phase 2, then you have your end phase. So in each of those phases, you're supposed to be doing a specific thing. Like the first one, you're supposed to draw phase, you draw a card. Your opponent has the right to activate certain cards during that time. Then you enter your main phase 1. Main phase 1 is when you want to do most of your plays, either special summoning or linking or activating effects. For Dark Magician, the last card you want to play during your main phase is Rod. Why do I say that? Because if any of your cards are going to be destroyed or negated by your opponent, you want the Rod to resolve, so you play him last. Now, why would I mention that? You know, either in the locals or even on the online dueling, you say my success is very high. And one of the reasons is for understanding how the mechanics works. So a lot of people play impermanent trap cards, or they can play solemn judgments. They can play many cards that negate you. The card you don't want to get negated, for me it doesn't matter if they negate it because I have a top tier, but someone who has a rogue Dark Magician, Rod is very critical to you. If he doesn't play out, your chances of losing are a lot. If you've seen in my duels, both live and online, they negate my Rod and nothing happens. I still win. I still summon Rod. There's been some times where they play draw lock bird, and I still play my cards like if they didn't play anything. You're welcome to go see it. So those are for players that their deck is more advanced. But for someone who's starting, like for example, the you that you're starting, the cards you want to play first, for example, or like Monster Reborn, or you want to start off by, if you have a Red Eyes uh, Fusion, you can play that card. And I would suggest if you don't have the actual fusions, you could just get a blank card. You can flip the card backwards. I'll show you how. You can flip it like this, and with a piece of paper with a pen or a pencil, you can write Fusion Red Eyes Dragon, and you can still play with your friends. They'll allow you to use it like that. It's just when you're starting to play official that you have to have the actual cards. Like this is a nation. I would have to opt out for my top tier deck, which is all English. So cards that you want to play are first are either special summon or normal. Then after that, when they come on the field, the cards have effects. Then after that, you resolve the effect and you do what it says. So I'll show you an example. You play your cards and most of them get negated, and during the main phase one you play Rod in the end and it resolves. Cards you want to get to your hand are cards like these: Eternal Soul, which lets you special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or your graveyard to the field, but you also want to have a circle on the field, because when you do that and it comes onto the field, circle activates and it resolves, banishing a card that you choose on your opponent's turn. So in my opinion, from my experience, if your deck is a low budget, you're gonna be opting for the Eternal Soul first, and I'll explain why. In my top tier deck, I don't really need Eternal Soul. One time I removed all three and I didn't have any, and I was still using Magical Circle a lot because I have cards like Magician Souls at 3, and I have other cards that allow me to special summon the Dark Magician from my hand, deck, or graveyard. So I don't really need the Eternal. I just have the Eternal because my opponent likes to use cards to negate. So I need to get rid of them. So I can show you an example. Maybe a Solemn Judgment. I know that when he plays Solemn Judgment, he's going to pay half of his life points. If he had 8,000, he's going to have 4,000 now. So what I'm really saying is I'm just baiting my opponents. They think that they're stopping me, but what's really going on is I'm stopping them. But with the low budget deck, you're going to want to opt to play this card first, and I'll explain why. Because since it brings a Dark Magician from your hand or your graveyard, you can bring him in defense position or attack position. And this can give you a lot more power and control over the field, because Eternal Soul makes him basically immune to effects. So even if he is destroyed, you can special summon him back during the end. If you haven't activated it that turn, you can special summon him back during the end phase, or at any time that you want. He could attack it and bring it back the same turn, or you can opt for using it during the next turn. Now, however, if you just play circle, if Dark Magician's in your hand or in the graveyard, guess what? You can't use it. And since if your deck is a rogue, you more likely don't have Magician Souls or a lot of way to special summon a Dark Magician. So you can have the circle, but it's never going to resolve, so you're not going to win. So all I'm saying is, depending on what type of deck you have to know what works. The best way to do it is to go ahead and try doing what I would call test hands, meaning you pull the 5 cards and you follow the Yu-Gi-Oh rules and you play them. The normal cards are played during your turn, main phase 1 or main phase 2. But if the card reads that you can't use it during your attack position, you're not able. The battle phase, you're not able to. I will also send you a link of the basics of Yu-Gi-Oh so that you can look into it yourself and rewind it and see it as much as you can. As far as your deck, the main goal is to play a rod, and you're selecting these two cards. You're selecting a circle or an eternal. A lot of people opt for Dark Magical Circle because they play it and they search the deck 3 deep and they're hoping that they can find the eternal. But if you draw the eternal will not, I repeat, will not search for the Dark Magic Circle. And the Dark Magic Circle doesn't necessarily search for the eternal, so it goes 3 deep into the deck to see if it's there. So it is a fact that you're going to want to do the rod into your decision, the circle or eternal soul. In a perfect world, you would do circle and then this would pull the eternal soul. But since the world is not perfect, I would be opting for an eternal soul, which you know that you have defense as soon as you put it down. You have 3 eternal soul, then you will have good defense. You don't want to put all of them down because if they use Harpy's Feather Duster, you're going to feel sorry. The card you're going to be bringing out with it, like I said, is Dark Magician. So that is the main goal of your deck. Every other card is there. Read it to your benefit to help you in the duel. But it is not the main part of the deck. Now, if you want to play Dragoon, all you need for Dragoon is Red Eyes Fusion to play it. And Dragoon comes out. Read what the card says. However, if you're an advanced player and you have the rest of the cards, or you want to make them how I told you, you can bring 2 effect monsters to make an Akanda, and when an Verte Anaconda, Pretaplan Verte Anaconda comes up on the Link Monster Zone, you can use its effect to select a fusion card from your deck and then activate it from there. And when you're done, you dump all the cards, including the fusion card that you selected, all to the graveyard. If you have any further questions regarding this, you can go onto my videos, and I usually do it once or twice per turn, where I use Anaconda. The deck that you see play is a top tier. I would advise you to review my duels, and I would also suggest going on to the speed. If my speed is too fast for you, you might want to slow the speed to like a -2 or something like that, to where you can follow the plays and see what's going on. Once you start noticing that the cards that I'm playing are the cards in your hand, you're going to notice that we have the same deck. Do we have the same deck card per card? Absolutely not. My deck's a top tier. But do you have some of the cards I have? Yes. The answer is yes. Therefore, you're going to have to learn how to play it. And I would give you as advice, download a game so you learn the basic concepts and you learn what you can do and what you can't. Then after that, you start playing the game. If you have any further questions, you can always email me. I know we've been talking through email. We can find ways to get you on board and speed it up so that you're not confused and all your questions are answered. As far as your deck is not yet complete. I don't know the exact percentage of that's left of your deck of completion, but from what I can remember in the video that you did, your deck is probably, the deck itself, we're not talking about the fusion, the deck itself is probably 60% complete. So you still have about 40% to go. However, the cards that are on there, they're at a rogue level. So you have to acknowledge that your deck is a rogue level. As you progress into opting more cards that you have to, and I can make, I already did a video. You can go see the $100 deck, and you can also see the $130. Most of the cards that I posted on there are actually about $1 a card. If you don't wanna buy them singles, I would opt for buying it together, like I had told you, like the deck you bought. The reason for this, because a lot of YouTubers, including people that you meet physically, that you go person to person, a lot of times they lie by telling you the prices, and when they finish the deck, their deck is somewhere around $55. but they never bother to tell you that those cards are single, and even in TCG Player they charge you $1. So if you do it on a calculator, and this is not the price of the deck, the shipping itself can cost you more than $50, because doing on a calculator, $1 a card, and I'm talking about shipping. 99 cents per shipping per card doing a calculator, and if you're playing 40 cards, that's $40. But that is not actually true, because some people who ship can cost you more than $2, $3, and if you want tracking, that's $3.60. So if you do it in a calculator, I'm sorry to tell you, that would be 40 times 3. So you're looking at more than $120 on shipping alone. This does not include the deck price. This is why I told you that it's better to buy the bundle, because you save hundreds of dollars and you also save in shipping. Also, there's cards that you have been requesting to know more about. For example, skill drain, and later in the future we can get to a skill drain. If you read the card actually reads, pay 1,000 life points. As long as this card remains face up on the field, negate the effect of all face up effect monsters on the field. So that's what the card says. I know it's hard to read it. Maybe you can read it there. Most of the Dark Magician players and everyone who plays Skill Drain lies to you. They tell you Skill Drain wins games. This is 100% a lie. Because if Skill Drain would win a game, then everybody would play it. Also, if Skill Drain was winning the game, then you wouldn't need the other 39 cards. What they refer to by saying Skill Drain wins games or Skill Drain wins the game, what they are referring to is Skill Drain in combination with Eternal Soul and Circle. And I've clarified that many times. I'm not too sure how many people say that, but as far as I know, and I've seen hundreds of videos, nobody touches on that subject. Skill Drain does not win games. None. Skill Drain has never won a game for me, and I play Skill Drain. So what has won me the game? What has won me the game is Skill Drain together with Circle and Eternal. What is the percentage win? When I see this combination here, it's higher than 90%. Why do I say that? Because whenever I see this cards, this trinity of cards, I already know I'm winning, and I win. So this is why I had told you to opt for a skill drain. However, you did not want a skill drain, so we can do it in the future. The skill drain negates every monster's effect, and they're not able to do anything, and you have full control of the field. And what you're gonna want to be doing is a combo. Rod reads, you can get a spell or trap from your deck that says listed Dark Magician. I've told you the two that main people get. You can also get Dark Magic Attack from it, and there's a few other cards you can get like Soul Servant. But the main ones you want are these two. When he goes to the graveyard, he has a secondary effect. This is the secondary effect. It says when a spell or trap is activated during your opponent's turn, meaning you're just on standby and it's your opponent's turn. When you activate a spell and a trap, you can activate the secondary effect of Rod. You can select any spellcaster on the field and tribute him. When you do that, Rod comes back to your hand. And that is basically a combo. Because if Dark Magician's out on the field and you activate Eternal, let's say he's in a graveyard, you activate it and he comes out because of Eternal Soul, you chain to Dark Magical Circle, and then you activate the effect of Rod by triggering either. You could do it on the Eternal Soul or the Circle, it's up to you. And when you do it, Dark Magician goes back to the graveyard and you recycle your Rod back to your hand to use him again. It is a combo. This is a basic combo, and this is the main combo that you're supposed to be looking at your deck. Any other card that you have in your deck is just there because you were unable to purchase the complete deck, which is a little bit more expensive. It was only, $60, $70 more. But if you weren't able to afford it and you have the basic rogue deck, it it means, it doesn't mean nothing bad. It just means you have to work with what you have. And I would suggest looking at my videos and reading your emails, because I am contacting you over there so we can move forward. And thanks again. And if you like videos like this and you would like me to continue to do videos like this, feel welcome to ask, and I will be uploading them. This video will be up unless you request for it to be pulled down, because it is a specific video for you only. Anybody else that is a first timer, they're welcome to look at it, but this is a video directed to someone specifically. They ask questions regarding this and I am answering them. Like I said, this is up to you. If you want, I will leave the video up. If you want, I will delete the video. If you have any more questions, just ask and I'll be happy to help you and coach you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.